Nakamura Sumire and Ueno Asami. In this match, Nakamura Sumire wins and becomes the youngest ever player to hold a title in professional Go at just 13 years old. We saw last game, Ueno Asami won and went up 1-0 in the best of 3. Nakamura Sumire does win though, so she's going to win this game and she's going to win the next one, but it's not going to look like that. So we're going to have a fun time figuring out how. Now before we start, I just want to clear up, I got a little bit of the stats about the tournament wrong last time. Actually, these matches are relatively blitz compared to most Japanese professional tournament matches. They have 30 seconds per move, and then 10 times throughout the game they can use an additional minute. So they call it 30 seconds per move and 10 times 1 minute Byoyomis. The winner's purse was only $38,000. I say only, it's still quite a lot for just one match, but we've since updated Wikipedia where I got my sources, and you can check out the original source in the description if you're so inclined. Anyway, let's get into the game. In this one, Ueno Asami is black and Nakamura Sumire is white. They swap colors from game 1. Ueno Asami starts at the one space high enclosure. She's threatening to build something on the right. Sumire approaches here. She doesn't want Ueno Asami to build something. Ueno Asami backs off 2 space high. Very rare these days. But you can see with this move that both of these players are intent on being the aggressive one, if at all possible. This is a very aggressive move in a Joseki. Sumire chooses to attach in the bottom right, and this starts another Joseki, where Ueno Asami picks the influence, picks the outside. She connects here, white can extend here, and Ueno Asami Ataris. Sumire pushes and blocks in the corner. The meaning is, if Sumire would just connect here, then Asami would get to block in the corner, and then white would have to save on the side. It's okay, but she thinks she can do better by taking the corner. She pushes first to make it so that it's Miai between capturing this one stone, and when black does that, capturing the stone in the corner. So black can only Atari and let white capture. This result is Joseki. Black's influence is very nice, but black did have 2 stones to start the corner, and now it's white's corner, and white even has a lot of territory. So both players are satisfied. Black comes to attack the upper right now. She plays this move, this iron pillar. Actually, this shape is not approved of by AI, but remains popular among professional players. And the reason why is that it's very, very thick, but also very slow. And AI knows how to take advantage of this by throwing in stones like here later and making a mess. But humanly, it's quite hard to show that this is going to be inefficient. So it remains popular, even though AI doesn't really like it. White could continue by saving her stone on the right side, but she chooses instead to continue by playing here. This denies the ko. If she would play this move, then black can start a ko like this, and she would have to defend her group in the corner sort of slowly, and also her group on the side sort of slowly, Sumire. So she didn't want to do that, because Sumire isn't very good at defending her groups, like at gaining while defending her groups is what I mean. So she doesn't like this style of play. She prefers to play here, allow black to pincer, and then call that one stone light. She tenukis now. She plays an enclosure in the upper left. And the meaning is that that one stone is not really even a group anymore. It's just that black has a moyo on the right side, and white is okay with that. Black plays shoulder hit here. And actually, this is why Sumire played the large knight extension rather than the small knight. She anticipated black might play from this direction, and then when white extends up, it's better to be 2 spaces away than 1 space away. Black now descends here. This is usually not a good move to allow your opponent to get the hane at the head of 2 stones, and even the double hane. Normally, this would be bad for black. Eventually, white can connect here. It's like white managed to take the initiative in the center and press completely. But Ueno Asami had an idea, which is just that she can hane now and connect. And she's effectively taken the whole top side. You can see almost all of that is black already. That's like 40 points or so. And what white got in return is some center influence, but it's not clear yet exactly where that's going to become territory. So Ueno Asami is actually taking something of a territorial approach with her moyo. It's kind of interesting. Still, there's a moyo on the right. Just because she converted the top side into territory doesn't mean it's done. So Sumire comes to reduce that part. She plays this move. This allows black to cut, jumping into the eye of the elephant jump. And Sumire continues to lean and tries to link up. This is a very calm play by Sumire. She's not trying to save her stone or invade or anything. And it's because she knows that in the early stage of the game, when you reduce, you'll have control of the center, which helps you later for the fighting that might happen in the center. In comparison, if she had invaded and black had gotten stones to the center, then this area would feel much less snowy. Okay. They're done here. This right side has been effectively reduced, and black says now it's time to go and split the left side, reduce this white influence in the center. White attacks it one time, and black plays peep now. It's quite an interesting timing. You may have wondered, why didn't black come to cut originally? Well, in this case, Sumire had a plan. She was going to Atari and then extend here one time. This is a sacrificing Tesuji. The only way for black to save these 2 stones is to extend, churn, capture these 2 stones, but it lets white get this Atari, and black can capture, and white even gets Sente. Although black gets like 5 points, white gets so much influence, and Sente, this is not worth it for black. That's why instead, black played peep here first, and white blocked on top side. If white would have connected here, then black would try to save these 2 stones separately, and if successful, she would break almost all of the white potential territory here. So Sumire deemed this too risky and blocked instead towards the center. This gives black an option to reduce white later, but white could also get back to it sometimes. Okay, in the game, black wouldn't directly come to capture this area because it gives white more influence and the chance to attack. So black defended her group on the left side. White blocked, continuing to attack, and black chose this timing to push and peep. She's trying to intimidate white over this cutting point, but Sumire wouldn't be intimidated, she just caps. So Asami was hoping that white would answer like this, or if not answer and cap like this, that she would be able to eventually make something happen regarding this cutting point. But it was not really the best timing to make a push and peep kind of idea, because the group on the left for black is a bit of a anchor for any of her plans. She can't just leave that group alone forever. It's also weak. So after this, she has to immediately just jump. And when white jumps here, it starts to swallow this one peeping stone at the same time as building territory. Okay. Black takes this timing to come and break the upper left. You might wonder, why didn't black cut first and capture? And actually, it would be a little bit better, but it's more professional to clamp first, as Yuano Asami does. The reason why, when you play like this, the cutting point here is actually less powerful than it was before, because white has another stone on the outside. If you just clamp first, then this cutting point is more likely to work for black later, especially if white will make this exchange. Then, although black has less territory on the top, this cut could come in Sente. Then there's much more potential that these 4 stones can become weak, and in general that white can suffer somehow in the center. So it's the professional move to start with the clamp rather than the cut to keep the Yaji in the center at the cost of some territory on the top side. Okay, white plays this peep now. Black connects on the side, and white plays a capping move. You might wonder, well, if white peeped and black connected here, why didn't white continue with a cut? In this case, black had a sacrifice plan. She was going to Atari here, and then connect here. White would need to block, and black would just push from behind, push again. And this black group is actually pretty much safe already. Although white has some nice territory in the center, the safety of this black group gives her the mobility to come and reattack the white stones in the bottom left. Maybe something like this, and white would actually be losing control of this game for not enough profit. So Sumire doesn't attack by allowing her opponent to instantly solve her group's problems, but instead it attacks by making lingering problems, leaving there to be many more ajis later in the game as much as possible. So she starts with the capping move. Asami ignores it. She goes to the upper left corner and basically dares Sumire to attack as strong as she can, and that it won't be that bad. So Sumire is like, okay, I'll try. She peeps, Black pushes, and Sumire jumps. One of the important things to learn from Sumire's attacking, which by the way is one of her best qualities, is that she's always concerned with restricting her opponent's next movement. In this case, I think some players would try to make a cutting move over here, but then Black will sacrifice like this, and Black is clearly alive. You don't even want to play the connecting move at this point. The problem with that variation, compared to what Sumire played, is that the Black group in general wants to move out to the center. It doesn't want to move to connect to that one stone. That doesn't matter so much. So Sumire plays the attacking move that most controls the direction where Black feels most comfortable running in almost every situation. Black peeps. Now Black wants to make a cut, so Sumire makes a bamboo. And Black covers her cutting points on the second line with the diagonal, also expanding her eye space. White plays this move. You can see Sumire is restricting her opponent's movement. She understands at this point, okay, Black's fixed her cuts, now she wants to run to the center. My group wants to run to the center. Then let me take the move, which makes it unclear for how Black can do so efficiently. That makes it so that Black's next movement will be assisting White if it would come to the center. Asami pushes once and plays diagonal. She's making a large eye space here. And Asami actually thinks that this attack from White, although very restrictive, has been loose enough that it gives her the opportunity to invade again. She peeps here. And when White connects, she descends. White hanes is to split the two Black groups, and Black dares to play a large knight's move here. The point from Yuno Asami's perspective is that Black has managed to make a large enough eye space, it's almost alive already, and still has some routes to run. If she invades this corner, then the White group even has its own weakness to tend to as she tries to attack either group. So it's a little bit awkward for Nakamura Sumire here. She tries a shoulder hit to get on top of both groups. Black pushes once, and with this jump, Sumire has officially actually surrounded that group on the left for the first time. Feel free to pause the video and try to solve this Sumego. Do you think it's necessary for Black to add another move on the left? Basically, if it's White to play, can White kill, or can White make a ko to capture this group on the left? If you just want to see the Tesuji, well, Asami played an answering move. She decided that it was necessary, that it was possible for White to kill if she would leave it, if she'd play somewhere on the bottom side. But it's not so clear how. Actually, there's only one good attacking move, which is this one. This is waiting for Black to choose a shape around this cutting point while reducing the Black's eye space. And no matter what shape Black chooses, White will then be able to make a dead shape inside, where the stone that Black plays becomes inefficient. So if Black would connect, then White will play here and hane and play here. This is Black is dead. If Black plays here, then White will play this peep and here, and Black is dead. If Black plays here, then White will play peep and here, and Black is dead. Actually, though, Black does have one way to make it ko, which is to play this move. This move controls that peep better than all the other ones. So White shouldn't actually make that exchange now, but just directly play a ko on the outside. And this would make the Black group dead in ko. That's still worth for Black to defend. So Asami plays this move, defending and taking the best endgame towards the upper left. All right, so Sumire gets Sente. She can play some attacking move on the bottom Black 4 stones. She plays here. This is the most conservative one, covering all of the White cuts as she tries to surround this Black. But actually, she could have played more strongly. She could have surrounded from here. Then if Black would push and push, What I'm sure she worried about was a cut like this. It looks like this white group on the inside is in danger, but Wei has Sente and can play push and wedge here. This is a common tesuji to exploit black's two cutting weaknesses on the side. Now if black captures, white can Atari, and Atari here. The black group has one eye, and the white group you can see has two, one under the two stones and one in the corner. So this would be a good variation for white. What that means is that when white plays here, when black peeps, black can't continue to push and cut, black has to just defend somehow, and white would be able to cover all of her cutting points anyway. Then this is better to cover while blocking on the side than to cover directly like this. So Ueno Asami takes advantage by churning here, and white plays here. But Ueno Asami makes her own mistake by playing this diagonal move. Normally, when we defend this kind of group, we should just push on the second line until we have enough space that we feel comfortable to tenuki and tenuki. But it's understandable that she might have thought that white getting more influence towards the center would start to make a big looking moyo somewhere in there. So I can understand why instead she would want to live directly with the move inside, but this move is not the right way to do it. The problem is, when you play here, white can later play these moves in Sente, forcing you to respond and just make a small I shape to live the group. It would be better if instead of here, black played the empty triangle. This move is still solidly connected to the three stones over there, and now when white pushes, black can simply block. So this way black could get a lot more eye space and a lot more territory with the empty triangle rather than this move. Okay, but Ueno Asami didn't see that, and still, the end result of this fighting is that Ueno Asami has a pretty big lead. She managed to save her group on the left side after tenukiing to take the territory in the upper left, and even as she did it, she also broke the bottom left. So the only thing Wei has left is the influence in the center. She really has to make something out of that, or Ueno Asami will just run away with this game. Sumire invades on the right. And black plays this blocking move. The natural way for black to play would be here, taking power to the center, helping to reduce that influence, but Nakamura Sumire had a plan to just hane, and she was going to take away, or at least reduce, the right side territory. Asami didn't want that, and she thought if she blocks here, that this one stone would be very weak anyway. It's still an invasion, it should still be very attackable, so black should still get quite a bit of profit in the center from attacking it. But Sumire showed that might not always be the case with the extraordinary idea from this moment. She blocked here. And you might say, Telegraph, what's so extraordinary about it? That's just saving your stone and connecting it in the strongest way possible. Well, yes, but there's a big problem, which is that when black pushes here, you have to block. And then black can Atari here, you have to connect. It's an empty triangle. And when black blocks here, you're dead. The 4 stones died. So most professionals would stop reading when they get to this moment. Most players definitely would stop reading when they get to this moment and be like, oh, I died. That's probably not good. Let's do something else. But not Nakamura Sumire. She read this far and thought, this is my chance. When black captures my 4 stones, she reduces her own liberties with the capturing groups. The 2 stones in the center and the 3 stones on the side are now liberty tight, and I can use that to sacrifice these 4 stones to great effect. She starts with this cut. Black must answer, or else her 4 stones on the side will die. She hanes. White makes this hane. Black hanes outside. White makes this move in Sente that covers that 1 stone, and white makes this move in Sente. Black has to connect here, or else her 2 stones would die and the 4 stones would be saved. At the end, white has died with 5 stones, but that's it. That's all black got out of the right side. And still, there's some sacrifice aji, both on the right side and in the center. Even the whole big white influence, white might be able to make a moyo out of it, because white has this extra stone to help grow. White starts with this move, and black plays here. It's an empty triangle, I don't really like it. White connects. And already at this point, white has caught up in the game with this beautiful sacrificing idea. All of her moves were very genius. Already white is caught up. It was very magical to block and intentionally die just to make a sacrifice on both sides and allow black to have that one bastion of pure strength. A great idea by Nakamura Sumire. Asami plays this move now. She was too annoyed by Sumire's threats to make sacrifice later. If Asami would just play some other big move, then when Sumire plays here, Asami has to back off like this. If she would play here now, then white could Atari and push through here. Then there's a ko here. This is the only way to save the black group, so the white stones would be able to live in ko and capture the black in ko, and Asami thought this was just terrible. She could have, though, she could have Tenuki'd and accepted this Hane and Sente just to pull back at 109, but this must have felt so bad. I definitely would have struggles to accept this in my game. So Asami played here, but it is also problematic because it's just a random second line move at the end of the day. It's not Sente or anything. And this Asami gives a chance to Sumire to build in the center. So she plays, after this one exchange and another exchange here, the knight's move to the center. Sumire is saying she can swallow everything and even maybe sacrifice these 5 stones again with some liberty techniques. Asami can't accept it. She connects once, forcing white to block to take the center, and then Hanes. This Hane is very clever, actually. White plays this attach in response, and this must seem totally out of left field, but I promise there's good reason for it. If she just cuts here, which looks natural, then black will play Atari and cut like this. Now the black stones have 3 liberties and the white stones have 2 liberties, so black would take the whole right side back, and this is a massive success for black. But this would work oh so well for white if she could just connect there. If only these 2 stones could connect. So Sumire plays this attach, hoping that black will eat it like this. So she gets this one cut, black can eat it like that, and then she can cut like this. Now, Asami plays attach here, but if she would do the same cutting idea, of course, Sumire is connected, and it's good for white. Actually, though, this looks very smart as a response from Sumire, but it's a little bit of a waste of Aji because she had some cuts on the top side. If Sumire would have pushed here and cut like this, and cut, press down, black answers, this looks not working because the 2 stones of white are going to die. There's no way actually to save them. But white can play this move and block here. Then black can capture with a Kamen Tetsuji, this clamp. White connects and black can Hane here. And white has 3 liberties and no eyes. It looks horrible for white. But the good news is that black has only 4 liberties. If you do it this way, then white can get not just this move in Sente, but this move too, and even this move as well. And all of these while black is just throwing stones in her own territory at the end. So if white would do it that way and then cut here, then white would have had a much better position. As it is in the game, actually black has a chance to come back after she plays attach. There's a good chance even for black to win the game here after white turns, black plays this move. This doesn't actually make sense. If you attach, it must mean that you want to cut, and then white should have too many cuts, and somehow we're going to attack them. But Yueno Asami was fearful of something. She thought Nakamura Sumire will play here. It looks like it's Sente against these 5 stones, right? If I could just capture one of white's 3 stone groups in one move, then that would be great, but I can't, even though I try like Atari here. There's no ladders or anything. All I have is a net. And then white will be able to capture my 5 stones. So it doesn't work, right? But actually, this would have been game winning for black. If black would sacrifice these 5 stones, allowing white to save her 4 stones, reducing the whole right side, black could play this Atari. If white connects, black could even cut here. The whole upper right white would switch to black's territory. In return, white would save the stones that were dead. White would capture like 10 points. It's like a 20, 30 point swing in the right center. It's much bigger than that in the upper center. This would be game winning for black, but she didn't see it. She didn't see that she had the opportunity to sacrifice these 5 stones after playing here. If she would do this, then white would have had to just be defensive somehow and give black the opportunity to push through, reduce this white Moyo in the center, maybe even build something of her own as she does it. In the game, she simply pulled back. And white gets the opportunity to play here. This is, you can see the moyo is much bigger this way, right? And Sumire claims to have answered these cutting points flexibly. Okay, Asami plays Atari and reduce the moyo from the center. Sumire tries to take the bottom side and threaten to disconnect this reducing stone. Black just connects back to it. And Sumire plays to build her moyo once more. Actually, this is a mistake, though. It would be better to make this Atari first and then block here. Normally, you want to build your moyo, but actually, if you would just allow your opponent to reduce it, they can't do it so effectively. If Asami would try diagonal and Hane here, then white could cut. And it's always better to fight with your influence than to build with it. So it'd be much better to restrict her like this, have Asami just be able to extend here. This looks super lame, right? It's hardly any better than the variation where white spent a move defending. So it was better to Tenuki here rather than build for Nakamura Sumire. And Yono Asami is going to punish her perfectly. She plays this push, white blocks, and Asami finds what could have been the winning move here. It's an absolutely brilliant Tesuji. Please pause the video and see if you can find it. But if you just want to enjoy the pretty Tesuji, Asami played here. It is a brilliant move. If Sumire plays as she does in the game, she Ataris here, and that can extend here. Sumire captures. If Sumire would try to capture everything, then black could connect and capture the 4 stones. So Sumire connects, black extends here, and Sumire has to connect back this way. Otherwise, black had an opportunity to cut the white group off in the center. Sumire connects, and black gains an opportunity to capture the white 3 stones out of nowhere. So what went wrong for Sumire? What was she supposed to do other than this? Well, you might look at this move, but of course black can capture the 3 stones. You might look at this Atari here. Then black would not connect, but play this extend again. Genius move. Then if this, it transposes to the game. And if white blocks on the outside, then this time black will Atari here and Atari again here and cut like this. Now the white dumpling here has only 2 liberties and the black dumpling 3. So white is dead. White could play here, then when black does this, white can save everything. Like this, black can't connect, black can only take the underside, but it's all in Sente. This is so many points to gain in Sente for black. Sumire couldn't accept, especially because she had missed her chance to Atari. This would be so much better. This variation would be so much better if only Sumire could get this move in, but she can't at this point. Black would cut. So Sumire has to accept black connecting on the second line there. If she plays like that, she couldn't accept that. Instead, she plays as in the game, giving up her 3 stones. It was a very beautiful sequence by Yono Asami. Now at this point, actually capturing the 3 stones is possible. It's worth 14 points. Asami decides there's still middle game moves to be played. She plays instead to break the bamboo over here. Of course, if she had played here, then white would get this Atari. And it's a 14-point difference compared to white playing there and capturing the 3 stones. She instead decided, let me threaten to break into the white moyo here. White blocked, black played this peep, and black jumped. She's just looking to reinforce her shape and look at some cutting points that white has. White plays this move. This is threatening the 2 stones. Black answers, and now white blocks. If white would capture these 3 stones, it's super big, but black can cut here. Now if white answers somehow defending her moyo, black would kill the whole bottom left. Of course, white wouldn't let that happen, but white would have to allow black into her framework. So Sumire chooses to block instead, covering the cutting points, and that gives black the timing to capture the 3 stones in the upper right. White makes this Atari, black connects, and white says, now we've officially entered endgame, let me take my Sente. Believe it or not, this game is a half-point game, and it's going to remain a half-point game until the end. But right now, it's a half-point in favor of black, Yono Asami, and we all know Sumire is going to win. See if you can find that one moment where Sumire catches her half-point victory. All right. She starts with this move and plays this move. Black hanes, white blocks. Black pushes, white blocks. This actually forces now black to add another move in Gote for the life of her group, but it gives white some cutting points there that can be of high value for black. White plays this Atari and plays this move. It's a really good endgame move. Asami can only descend here. Of course, if Asami would try to capture, then white would double Atari, and this would be a failure to allow white to capture a stone. So black blocks, and white makes the Atari. And white plays this move. Now black has to answer. If black wouldn't answer, play on this side instead, then white will play this Atari first, and then this Atari, and capture the whole black group. So black answers, and white somehow managed to get 3 points on the right side here. It was quite a good endgame sequence. Black plays this cut first, and plays this move. This is just a time Suji. She's just getting more time to think of how to play. Somehow she has to play on the bottom. She plays peep here. White plays this move in Sente and pushes. Black pulls back. This is Sente, threatening to connect. If you connect on the first line, usually you get a lot of points in the end game, so white needs to block that. And black gets the opportunity to connect here, threatening to cut. White connects, and black plays here. This is threatening to wedge in the center, which would gain 2 points in Sente. So white plays this move, but white has to eventually answer here. If white would play some other move, then when black wedges, white needs to connect somehow now. White's territory is 2 points less, and black has the next move. That means that blocking that is worth 4 points. It's a 2-point reverse Sente. You always double the value of a move that comes in endgame, which would be your opponent's Sente if they played it. So 4 points is bigger than anything else on the board. That's why white has to respond. And when you see this ending variation, black has some potential points on the bottom, but somehow, magically, the half-point game is in favor of Nakamura Sumire. Sumire has gained her half-point advantage. And for the rest of the game, she won't lose it. She plays half-point precise from now on. But how did that happen? It looked like everybody was just playing Sente moves and the necessary responses. Well, it was actually this peep. This peep move was the losing move. Instead, if Asami would play diagonal here, still this move is Sente, white still needs to block to prevent that first line connection. And now, if you can see, if this move is here first, you wouldn't really want to extend once, allowing white to break any potential area you have in the center, but rather play Tiger's Mouth, going after a couple more pennies on the bottom side. White gets an opportunity to capture like this, so it's not clearly better, but black can play this move. White can block here, black Ataris, white connects. Black can still play this move in Sente. White answers, and black gets the timing to come back here. Now compared to the game, white has a little bit more territory since she's captured a stone. She's one line deeper like this, but black has quite a bit more territory in the center and even on the side here. Now black lost Sente here, but according to my research, which I could be wrong about this, I'm not that good at endgame, I believe this variation is 2/3 of a point better than the game for Sumire. And that's 2/3 of a point in expected value. That's 2/3 of a point over the course of many games. It just so happens this game was close enough that the half-point win, the lead Asami was hanging on to, was so narrow that 2/3 of a point to gain for Sumire was enough to overturn it and give Sumire the half-point victory. It's a really hard sequence to find. It's a really hard move to find from the beginning. You can see that even from here, Asami was spending time Sujis just searching, trying to figure it all out on the bottom side, and there are many more complicated sequences than I showed you. Even my Katago, I'll show it on the screen now, did not know when I presented at this position that one of these moves is going to be game winning and one of them was going to be game losing. You can see it judged that both of them were about the same, but my research says otherwise. And Katago would, in fact, its blue move would have been the diagonal. It would have played correctly, but it would have been lucky. That's my analysis here. So this end game was really, really hard for Asami to play, and that's all credit to Sumire, that she was able to take advantage of such a tiny arcane mistake as this peep. Okay. And the game, it's not over. Just because I can say Sumire is half point ahead now, doesn't mean she can win easily, especially when black has moves like this one, making a ko that can even potentially capture these white stones later if white doesn't respond. But if white responds, it means black gained an extra point in Sente. So white plays over here. She plays in the center. It's another big move, but it gives black the option to capture this ko. Now white plays some ko threats, and black plays a ko threat. White plays here. Black has the option now to connect the ko in Sente. If white would not respond, then black could throw in and capture here. But black doesn't take it. She plays here. The reason why is that Asami knows if she connects this ko and black answers, and then she plays here, then Sumire would win by half a point. Their counting is definitely accurate at this stage of the game. They know exactly who's going to win the half-point game when the ko is resolved. So Asami doesn't want to resolve the ko that early. She holds it like this, waiting for an opportunity where she's going to have more ko threats. Then later, she hopes if she gets another chance at the ko, if white would play some other move, that she can throw in here and play this move, capturing the whole backside, still needing to win the ko to do so. White captures the ko, so white will try to actively prevent Asami from getting a grip on that aji. Asami plays this move, white answers, black takes the ko again, and white plays this move, and black answers, white takes the go again. And at this moment, Asami must have had to admit that Sumire simply has more ko threats. There's no hope for Asami to go all the way in and capture that bottom left white group. So she played a 1-point reverse sente, or 2-point gote move. White took the other one, black answered, and white won the ko. Now it's just down to the small endgame. Eventually black plays here. She wants white to have to spend another move in this moyo to solidify it. There's a whole bunch of things which are like close to dying, which are almost cut. So Asami will try. She no reason not to. If she can just force white to spend one extra move in that moyo, somehow, one of these moves, if white will just have to spend another move later after all the dame are filled, it would be so good for Asami. She could reverse the half-point victory, but alas, Sumire was accurate. Even to be honest, some of these moves by Asami were gote in the center, but her spirit was clear, and you could tell that they both knew exactly who was winning the half-point game at all times. It was a very impressive game, and a very intense game all the way through to the very end. The sacrifice strategy by Sumire on the right was fantastic. The territory strategy by Asami on the left, also great. It's funny how this works when the aggressive players both play fantastically on defense. Then you wonder why they're being aggressive in the first place, but they're good at all parts of the game, of course. This was a lot of fun, and we're not done yet. Game 3 was even more fun. So I hope to see you there. Please like the video, subscribe if you enjoyed, and next time we will be checking out the final game. Bye-bye.